Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's another week of Let's Shift Knit Along, where we knit. We have a knit along for Andrea Mowry's patterns, the shift, the shift along, and night shift. And yeah, we've been doing that the whole of May. So we have this live left, which we're currently busy with, and then we have the last YouTube live left for next week, Saturday. So I'm so excited. I've made good progress on my shift and loving the knit. I'm truly loving the knit. It's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to hear how you're doing. If you're watching, hello, welcome. Please tell me where you're watching from. What are you knitting on? And remember, there's no rule that you have to participate in the knit along to be able to watch the live or to participate in the live. I see Lishan is joining us. That's nice. And yeah, so please tell me how you're doing. What are you knitting on? And then we will show our progress. I'm so excited. And Lishan is here. Hello, Lishan. So yes, it's been a good day today. I was this morning early out of the house. We had practice at our drama school because we had flash mobs in 3 of the malls here. First, we started at Mimosa Mall, and then we went. So it's like half an hour interval. So it was like rush out of the mall, get into your car, rush to the next mall, to the site where we were doing the flash mob, and so forth and so forth. So we started at Mimosa Mall, and then we proceeded to Loch Logan Mall, and then lastly we were at Northridge Mall in the north of Bloemfontein. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, so it's now getting closer to our theatre production mid-June, which we're going to have 5 shows. The adult actors, so the drama school we have is like there's primary school children, there's 2 high school groups, and then so each of those groups are having their own performance, and then the adult shows are the main shows. Adult shows doesn't mean that only adults can come watch, because it's family orientated shows. It's musical comedy. It's very fun, and but it's adult actors, and so we are the main show, and we have 5 shows, so it's getting closer and closer to that time. Yeah, anyway, Lishan, how are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. We've all had a bit of a cold this week, so we've been housebound, but it's allowed me lots of knitting time.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope you're feeling better already. Everyone is nice.
Yeah,
Everyone good now.
and my daughter still doesn't have a voice. She's whispering, but
Oh,
otherwise we're all on the mend.
oh, that's good. I'm good to hear that. Yeah, it's everybody is coming down now with flu or with, I don't know, a cold or something,
Yeah.
something.
The pediatrician that I took my daughter to actually said they've seen a lot of swine flu with the kids
I've
this
heard that.
winter so far.
I
So that's
even
quite.
in Bloemfontein, yeah, I've heard the same thing. Oh, Annelie is also joining us, my collaborator this month. I'm always happy to see her as well. Rosemary says, hello to you all. I'm busy crocheting on Alexander's Captain America blanket. Rosemary always makes these beautiful blankets that I love. That's awesome, Rosemary. You need to send me a picture. Is it again one of those star blankets, Rosemary? Anyway, all right. So, Lishan, tell me about, while we're waiting for Annelie to finally pop up. How are you experiencing the knit for you're doing the shift cowl, right?
Yeah, I'm doing the cowl. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a very nice knit. It's engaging, but not to an extent where you can't have a conversation or anything like that. So I started section 7 yesterday.
Oh
I don't know
my
if you
word,
can see there.
it's beautiful.
Um, the one thing I would change is the variegated yarn. The next time I make it, I won't use a variegated yarn because I don't see the blips as much as with the plain colors. But I'm happy with it. I love my colors. So
It,
yeah,
Truly
I'm
beautiful. And you know what? When I was knitting my one, I'm still busy knitting on mine. On section 7 now. I have to say that it's like it's getting your creative juices flowing in terms of trying to think of other options and color combinations
yes,
and maybe a solid background with blips, 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 and almost reminding me of Annelie's Nightshift, where it's like that gradient of colors. Have you
yeah,
seen her
yeah.
one of that? So yeah, there's so many options. It makes me so excited. And
There
I
was
mean,
a Sorry, there was a
no,
kit that Big Fox Yarn put on their Instagram this week for a different cowl, and my first thought was, oh, that would look nice as a shift.
yeah, it's true,
So
right?
I might maybe
Sound check.
indulge.
Yeah, definitely. Sham, it seems Annelie is struggling a bit with her sound.
Sound check.
I can hear you. It's
I can
like
hear
just
you.
like I don't know if it's your internet that's giving huck 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 like
Mm.
staggered.
I shall be.
Lishan, are you also getting staggered?
Yeah,
There,
yeah, she's
this is gone.
fucking fuss.
Yeah, so huck fuss. um, yeah, I don't know. It's like really, it's giving me all the feels of I can really knit this over and over. It's going to
Yeah.
be one of those things that you can really do over and over again. And it's also a very quick knit because when did you start?
Oh, probably the second week in May. I didn't start right at the beginning because I first had to wait for my yarn
Yeah.
to arrive. With all the public holidays, there was a delay. So I think I started, it was the second week of May, yeah. And it's gone really quickly, actually. And
Yeah.
I'm not the fastest knitter by any stretch. I
Yeah.
actually am quite a slow knitter.
Yeah, because I mean, all this the sections are basically all the same. The
Yeah,
method
it's just the
or the
different,
recipe is exactly the same. It's just in terms of where you increase and decrease and that type of thing where it differs
yeah,
basically. But
yeah,
so once you got it down, it's so easy and it's such a great thing to knit. And I think it's a great introduction to color work.
yes,
Also, you know, if you stretch make sure that your float at the back, which 2 stitches is not a lot of, you know, like it's easy
no.
to, yeah, but it's really a nice knit. I really, really enjoy it.
I was a bit worried at the beginning because my beginning point keeps flipping over, turning onto
But
itself. And I think maybe
yes,
my tension with my floats wasn't quite right then. I'm not sure, but
no,
I'm
I think,
hoping once I've sewn it all up, it'll be fine.
yeah, I
And
think mine
blocked
does
it.
exactly the same. Look there,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm sure when we block it, because my idea is to block it first
Yes. And then
and then to sew it together. What does she even recommend? I don't even know.
I think she says to block it first and then stitch it.
Yes, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, seam your 2 non-I-cord edges together. Okay, cool. All right. Yes, with a mattress stitch. Okay,
Mm.
so yeah, that I did not even think it, but I was like, I'm gonna first block it and then I'm gonna stitch together. I didn't even read the pattern up to that point, but yeah. So yeah, so that makes sense. So I'm sure that when we're gonna block it, that point is going to sort
It'll
itself.
even out. Yeah.
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 And I have to say, I think you said that white section or uh, that one part that you're not really happy about. I think
With
it's going to be
variegated yarn.
when you're going to have it fixed up and seamed up. I think it's going to look really pretty.
Yeah. Um, look, in real life, you can see the colors better than on the screen.
Yeah.
Actually, on the screen now, it looks better than on the photos that I shared on the group. It's just, I think maybe because in the variegated sections, the blips are in the lighter green in the sage
Oh, so it's
and
not
not in
as
the darker green.
yes,
So the
yes,
contrast isn't very
yes,
high.
significant.
So I
Yeah, no,
think that's one of the lessons I've learned is that my contrast needs to be better.
yeah. But you know what? I think I love that you continued doing continued with your cowl,
Yeah,
and we always learn through
yeah,
the
no.
experience.
I mean,
Yeah.
now I know for next time.
Exactly.
But I love this yarn and I love the colors.
Yeah.
I don't actually have anything in green. Most of my shawls that I've knitted have been pastels and blues and that. So I was happy with the green.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I'm using the merino twist from
Okay.
Cowgirl Blues, and it is so soft. It's
Yeah,
like
I know.
squishy.
Yeah, it's very nice yarn. I also love Cowgirl Blues. Oh, Rosemary said her granddaughter had RSV last week. You see, so I think it's a
Oh,
countrywide
okay.
problem.
Yeah.
Samantha, hello Samantha. She says hello Samantha. Rosemary says it's supposed to be round, but mine isn't 100% round. But that doesn't matter. I agree there. As long as you love it, that's fine. Absolutely. Hello, Lynn. She says hello, everyone. Rosemary says I can hear you, Annelie. Yeah, so I could. Me and Lishan both, I think, had like it's like staggered. There, and Annelie is trying to get in again. Let's see what it. But it I was wondering, is it my internet? So that's why I asked Lishan. But we will hear just now. Samantha says, I was discharged from hospital yesterday. Oh no,
Oh,
Samantha.
goodness.
I had pneumonia and swine flu. Oh my word. Yo, she says it was bad. Samantha, I hope we are all wishing you, sending all our healing and good vibes and hope that you're feeling much better soon. That is already looking better,
There we
Annelie.
go.
Oh, wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it's much better.
Hello,
And
everyone. I'm sorry I made it. I'm sorry I made the entrance. I
I know
hugged up
it's
some
very entertaining.
ink.
It was like,
Sitting looking at me, just pouting at the computer. It turns out that my Mac has decided to wait with every other upgrade until today.
why is it always like that?
Zoom must be updated. I'm like, okay, just get done. WhatsApp should be updated. I'm
Oh
like,
my
you've got to be
word!
kidding me. So now I'm clicking. Okay, WhatsApp's updated. Cool. Clicking on the Zoom link. Now it doesn't open Zoom directly, it opens it up through a browser. Click, open up the browser. The browser has been updated. Oh, come on.
Happened to me once where I was also like 10 minutes going to live, and then suddenly Windows, because I have a Windows PC on this side, and then my Mac
Yeah.
on this, and Windows is busy updating, and this is having updates. I'm like, what is happening? We have time, people, time. it's, it's so frustrating. And the thing is, I don't come and sit here like 20 minutes before the time because I'm busy. So I'm like having an alarm that's going off like 10 to, and then I'm like rushing, switch on all the computers, what the lights. And then if you're just having this information like updates needs to happen, then I'm like, no, I should not probably cut it this short, like taking 10 minutes to do all these things. But yeah, I do it every time. So that's what's happening.
So from years and years and years and years, having to go take a laptop, having to go to a boardroom, whether it was in the company I was working for, or going out to another company to display something on this laptop. So what we would do is we would demonstrate software that we would be implementing as your new system. So, hi guys, this is going to make your life easier. So through years and years and years of struggling and having to do with issues like you get there and the laptop doesn't want to fire up, or the thing doesn't want to connect to that Wi-Fi, or it doesn't want to connect to the projector, or name it, it has happened. So that we had a rule of thumb that we would ask for depending on who the audience was, because if it was just Tom, Dick, and Harry, then you can deal with you can wait. But if it had been your executive team, which in my story that's coming was, you would have a 45-minute time to set up, you would have a communication across everywhere, like do not touch this thing, everything. So you wait and you get there 45 minutes ahead of time, you do a dry run, everything's looking lacquer. Okay. Standing, man, I was still a little bit wet behind the ears, man. So get there, start demonstrating this thing. Windows updates will restart in 10 minutes.
And it comes to a point where you snooze those things, or you like say later, and then it doesn't give you that option anymore. So that's the point where you were, right?
And usually in our in-house meetings where we would have that type of audience, there would be a network engineer in that meeting just sitting on standby for if something like this happens, he has the access to stop it. This was at another Grootkorp company, and for whatever reason that day, he was not there.
Oh no.
Hi guys, can we take a quick coffee break? What do you do?
Coffee breaks makes everything better. But Annelie, you have to see first Lishan's progress on her shift.
Yes, please. I started looking and I couldn't hear what I just saw, but I would love to see. Oh, we chatted on WhatsApp. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is looking
I'm
stunning.
on section 7.
Wow.
There we go.
Okay. Oh, that is looking stunning.
Yeah. I was saying to Yaline, the variegated is nice, but the contrast color is not enough. And I think that's the problem. It's too similar to the actual variegated yarn.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know if this is just a normal us knitting thing or if it's specific to this project, but I have had also a couple of times now with this where I am doubting my own colors. And I'm working with 2 semi-solids and then my handspun, which is variegated. But for some reason, you get to a point where the colors are just not gelling together. But when you finish it and you seam it together and you start wearing it and you see that this thing is supposed to be just the akin to a unicorn that threw up color on your neck, yeah. It really does come together. So you've gotten this far. Finish it up and let's see how it looks. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is ribbit,
No, look, I'm happy with it. I love it.
You're not liking that idea.
No. I'm quite happy with it. I actually held up the points where you're going to seam it up last night and I was looking at it and I'm like, no, I think it's going to look nice. And also, like I said to Yaline, the colors don't show up as nicely on the screen or on the photo on WhatsApp as in real life. The colors are beautiful. So I'm happy with it. I'm not going to rip it up, that's for sure.
But I mean, the option is there. When we're going to have the frock party. It could be a frock item on the frock party. You never know.
I have an item that I have in mind for the frog party.
Yes. Yay. I must really start scheduling that frock party. Dana, if you're in the house, we need to schedule this frock party.
What I can suggest is, and that's what I am going to do now, is because this is my second background, and this is going to be my third. Sorry, the blinds, and I can't be bothered to go and close them. So this is going to be my third background, but I don't know how the blue is going to look as blips. So what I am going to do is, by the time I get there, is I'm going to do the good old-fashioned lifeline. And I'm going to test it, 2-3 rows. If it sucks, then there we are, lifeline. So that's also an option to anyone that's, maybe doubting colors and so on. But yeah, I'm doubting the blue and the red blips. So it's always good to just have a lifeline as well if you are if you are struggling to make up, you know, if
Beautiful.
you're worrying.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be beautiful.
I think it's not a thing that I don't think it's not gonna be pretty. I do think that I am going to like the orange on top of the red as blips
Okay.
more than I'm gonna like the bluish teal color on the red. So I'm going to try like a few, and then I'll probably try a row or two with the orange blips, and then I'll decide which one I like more. So it's not I don't think it's going to look bad. It's just, I think it's going to look much better if I just keep on combining two of these. Just get out of the light.
Yeah.
These.
All right. Let's quickly look at the comments. Rosemary says, "Oh no, Samantha, that is bad. Take it slow now. Yeah, please, Samantha, gets better. Lishan, your colors are gorgeous," says Rosemary.
Thank you.
Lynn says, "Lishan, your shift is stunning."
Thank you so much.
So Annelie needs to properly show her shift to us. Which section are you on, Annelie?
This is the keys program. Okay.
What section are you currently?
The one where you start decreasing.
Isn't that section 6 or 5?
Section 6.
Yeah, 6.
Well, yes. I am on 6. I am on 6. And wait, hang on. Let me just check. Maybe I might be on 7. I might have be one further. No. I'm on section 6. So let me close the blinds. Because else it's not going to show with the stuff.
I must not knit because
okay, it's fine.
Cool.
All right. Hey. Okay. As a reminder, this is my color A. It's a teal color. It's a blue color. It's really pretty. Goes very well with the orange. Then I've got my handspun in here, which has it's got deep orange. It's got a lot of peaches in. It's got pinks in it, corals, all sorts of stuffies. And then to complement some of the corals and so on, I picked a much discussed what color this is. This color. So I had picked, which will now be named red. No, and don't come at me if it's not red.
The color name is this color.
Yes. Don't come at me with what the color. This is not red or whatever. This is the red, okay? I'm still looking for the label, but anyway. So this is my color C. So I had finished up with my color A, which was the green, the blue. And this is where it had started. So here we have an intertwined A and B. Then you've got A and C in your next section. Then I'm opening it up again. Then you have your A and B, A and C. Here it actually gets lacquer because here you change your background. So here I've got a B as the background. I've got the blue blips in here. I had decided to change this from the red to the blue because the pattern says you should start crossing over to the red to color C. But I wanted a little bit of a transition with a blue as the background into the new background. So hence I chose just to one section make this color. Next one, I am going to be using the red, and then I'll use the red until the red is a background. And then that's where I actually want to go with this one as well. So in its entirety, sorry, I am in the middle of a row, but in its entirety, this is what it is looking at.
I love it. It's going to be beautiful.
It's stunning. Really is.
Thank you. Lishan, how are you finding the knit? I know you've got your concerns about the gradients and the yarn contrast, but how are you finding the knit?
No, it's really enjoyable. It's stimulating, but not so much that you can't have a conversation. You get into a rhythm and you kind of know. I have my best friend is over here to keep track of which row I'm on because I forget. Halfway through the row, I forget which row I'm on. So yeah, no, I've really enjoyed it and I'm definitely going to knit another one. So yeah, it's been a good pattern to do, good project.
I'm trying to figure out where I am in the pattern. Wait, it should not be that difficult. Okay, so I know exactly where I am. I just didn't mark I'm marking where I am, but I know exactly where I am.
How I normally recognize where I am, and that's why I kind of only reference the pattern lately, just to see if there's new stitches also. There's always going to be 5 rows of single blips, then there's going to be 5 rows of double blips, and that's a section.
Yes.
And there's always going to be there's going to be either 10 stitches increased or decreased.
Yeah.
And if you want to know where you are, you just look at your row and you will see there's only one line of background one, which means I am either still knitting or I need to pull back, or you can see if you are on your contrast row. But other than that, I don't even use a row counter because I got so confused with having okay, do 1 to 8 again. But 1 to 8 says do 1 to 4. And then, okay, but then the last one says 1 to 1 to 4.
Well, the number of times I've gone back and counted, okay, that's 8, so this is 9, 10, 11.
Exactly. That's why I go with where am I here? Okay, I need 2 more of these.
All right, let me show you. It's actually fitting my sweater today. This is my progress. So there's no ABC by me. It's like just switching over all the time. So this is my
I like it.
That's lovely.
Oh, I love it too. I think it's going to be really, really pretty.
Those colors are gorgeous.
That violet/purple.
Yeah,
yes, that is becoming a big star in that
it's in
KAL of yours.
I'm busy with it in section 7.
Wow.
Sure,
I did not anticipate it to be popping up like that. So I actually thought that alpaca, that blue, was going to overshadow, not overshadow, but be the star of the show. But I think this African violet.
No, it's making a statement for sure.
It is beautiful, Julian.
Thank you. I love it too. I'm really, really loving it. Yeah, and like I said, I'm so excited about future shifts. There's so many possibilities. So I'm excited. I'm truly, truly excited. Yep. Let's quickly look at the comments.
The beanies are nice if you just want to scratch that, but you're always going to be knitting in a round.
Oh, I love that.
You're not going to be pulling.
Really work for me.
Yeah. Except your blips. Your blips are going to be pulled.
Pulls, yes. You wonder why the pattern was called shift. Yeah, it's great because you're just shifting the whole time. It's really, really, really nice. Janine says, hi, everyone. Hello, Janine.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. It's 4 o'clock. It's qualifying, but we will be done before then. I'm so excited. It's big Monaco, the race. Annelie, are you ready? I know Annelie is also an F1 fan like me. Lishan, are you an F1 fan?
We do watch, yes.
Okay, cool.
I've got a friend whose son actually works on the yachts, and last year they were right by the swimming pool at Monaco, and he was sending us photos. They had Valtteri Bottas on the yacht.
No way.
So that was quite something, yeah.
Oh my word. I'm super excited. This is like the big race of the year, right?
Yeah.
This is
all the
the
celebs
boring
are
one
there.
of the year.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, they go
difficult.
around.
To me, Monaco is boring as hell. I'm waiting for
Whoever's in
Monza
pole.
so that I can. Monza is where you really do, because I mean, Ferrari is like, race after race is beating me up with a crowbar. Okay. The bar is so low
Like last
to be a
weekend.
Ferrari fan.
It's
Yet
bad.
they just limbo under that bar. Okay, so last year we got a win in Monaco, but it was also the first win for a hometown driver in Monaco in 94 years.
Yes.
So I don't see that happening for a Ferrari thing this
I
year.
think
I
we can
just,
take the pole position today because there's no
yeah,
chance of overtaking on that
Mhm.
track. It's just not possible.
no.
That's where the boring
Well,
comes.
yeah.
So
So this is why
they
they implemented a mandatory two-stop race now to try and just fucking do something. But I'm waiting for Monza because there's nothing that really, really hits it in the gut that really tells you this year is really not going to be our year either, is when we get to Monza. Okay.
yeah. So
So
I'm
I'm ready.
guess what I'll be knitting on during the qualifying on my shift. And so I already bought popcorn and Smarties. Popcorn and Smarties goes together like butter and bread. Like that is what you need to have when like that is the thing I'm having when I'm having popcorn and I'm watching movies. I
You
have
mix them all up.
mix them all up, and it's like you grab, because now it's sitting in the cinema and you grab your popcorn and then it's like salty and then it's like sweet. Oh, it's so good. So I bought Smarties and I bought bags of popcorn, and we're gonna have, I'm like, this is what we're having with qualifying. So I'm so excited to have that. I'm excited about qualifying. It's funny that you can be so excited about F1.
Yeah, Linky, do you follow a team or do you just follow, the sport in general?
Okay, so I'm a Red Bull fan,
Okay.
but
I'm sorry to hear.
I'm not like a
You're a
dedicated
Max Verstappen fan.
I also love McLaren, and then also I have like a lot of drivers that I root for, especially Piastri. I am really loving his vibe, his humbleness. I would say that's how that's the vibes that he's giving me. I also like Antonelli, the newcomer. And but then there's a lot of them. I mean, the McLarens I love, yeah, Gasly, yeah. So I just love the sport. I love the anticipation of somebody trying to overtake. Overtaking is glorious. I love that. And
Like last week's Max Verstappen overtake
yeah,
that
legendary.
was something that was I've been watching the sport since I was yay high. That's not something that I would have expected ever.
Yes, yep. That was a brilliant mistake.
I am very much a Ferrari fan. Um, unfortunately,
It's fun.
because I do love pain, apparently. Um, but And you will find me crying every time Ferrari does something stupid.
It's painful to watch, let me tell you. I've been so frustrated with Ferrari for the past few years because of the stupid mistakes that the principal makes, the team principal or the teams making these decisions. And it's like the one year where they came in, both of them into the
Double
pit.
stacking, yeah.
I was like, how is that possible? Right, so I'm so sorry if you're watching this and currently we're not even talking about Jan, but I'm going to knit while I'm watching F1, okay? So it's just, I'm very excited about the F1 later today, but yeah, that has been painful. I mean, my husband is a Ferrari fan, like he is really love Ferrari. But for me, seeing that and
my condolences.
So sad for those drivers when the team are really like, as a whole, is just making these horrendous mistakes. It's painful to watch. So I'm sending you a lot of love, Annelie.
But yours, team aside, I mean, I have to say the drivers, very good. I like supporting drivers, whether they are in Ferrari or not. There are a lot of good drivers. And look, there is the Hamilton. He's a very decorated driver. You don't have to like him, but he is a very decorated driver.
He's a brilliant driver. Let's talk about overtaking also there. He's got the ability to go from the back to the front.
Yes, but yeah. So I really don't like him, but I really do admire what he has accomplished and so on. And look, the saying in our house is we watch 19 of the world's best drivers driving. And Lance Stroll.
That is such a true quote. I'm going to now quote you on that. Because Lance Stroll, what do you call it? What is that word? Nepotism. He's a nepotism baby.
Oh, he's a net baby.
He's a net driver. It's the only reason he's there. It's nauseating. Oh, yeah.
I would like this, I can now. I want to try and veer about off sports and more of the life of privilege and so on. So Lance, what is this dude's name? Whatever his dad's name is, he clearly has got bank. Okay, so this bro has got a lot of money.
Yep.
So now, if I were him and I had bank and my kid enjoyed racing and my kid wanted to be in Formula One, I had the means to buy a team and get that kid in that seat. Guess what? I would have done it as well. So, the lengths a parent will go through.
But you know what I don't understand? Because the team is also like a business project, right? In terms of the money they make, the investors they have, and all of that. I'm just wondering, like, do Aston Martin have more investors other than the dad himself? And what does the presentation in terms of financials look at the end of the year when these investors are coming to the table and said, okay, let's discuss money, right? And how do you then substantiate your choice of having your son being the last in the pack, and that sits okay with investors for your team? Like, I would love to see a board meeting like that, because I don't know how he does.
I think it's the same thing with and this is the DHL Stormers as well. And my husband feels about the Stormers the way I feel about Ferrari. In that, you've got this rich, ingrained, beautiful history of a team. You've got everything at their disposal to be the best team. But anyway, but there's one of the other similarities, and which one that I cannot stop moaning about, is the blue HB logo on Ferrari, and my husband feels the same about the DHL yellow bar that's on the merchandise. And it is a thing that if you bring enough money to the board, you can pretty much agree with stuff like that. So if this bro, I still don't know what his name is the main investor, and he's still like, because he's not making money. I cannot believe him making money. But yeah, anyway, let's not bore our viewers, not your viewers, our viewers to death.
I want to quickly be transparent about the faults that I'm making, because I just realized I've made a mistake in the previous row, and I am not going to frog back to the previous row. So I just realized, let me show you. I have, instead of the 2x2, like slip 2, knit 2, I have 3 knits here. There it is. Right? So I'm just going to knit 2 together. And I'm going to roll with the mistake.
Are you on your way back?
Yep.
Yeah, I just knit them together.
So I just want to say to you that that is totally fine. It doesn't need to be, how many stitches? 108 stitches on the needle. If it's 119, it's not going to be the end of the world. You just have to adapt, right? Don't be so harsh.
So, yes.
So I'm just knitting 2 together. Look. There we go. 2 on the needle, like it should be. And then I'm just carrying on. And I might be ending not as per what the pattern is saying, but I'm going to just, for future rows, just incorporate that. And I'm going to go with the pattern, slip 2, knit 2 type of story.
So an easy way to fix whether you are on a stitch count, if you're not, an easy way to check and amend your stitch count is when you are at the end of a section, that last section has you do a knit and a pull.
Yes.
So what I do is when we get to that section, I know it's supposed to be a stitch out, because I'm either going to increase in the knit round or I'm going to decrease in the knit round.
Yeah.
So then I count my stitches. So if I count my stitches and I realize that I'm not going to make stitch count, I fix it in that knit row.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll fix it randomly in the middle of the cowl so that it doesn't like look wonky on the edges.
Yeah.
But it's a great tool for me just to know that that last section that has you knit and pull, you can make all of your fixes in there to just reach stitch count.
Yeah.
Now look, if you're 15 stitches out,
yeah, that's another story.
I would go back and maybe have a look at what happened. But I've got loads of issues in mine. A picture that I sent the other day on the WhatsApp group, I actually said in there, I see it and I don't care. I didn't say where the mistake was. I just said that I know and I don't care.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually just going to show it, because it's so incredibly small. Yeah. Actually, I just realized I've done it more than once. Okay, anyway. So here, wait. Here, you'll see 3 in a row. 3 in a row. The blips aren't alternating.
I can't even.
I have many
They're all
of
like
those.
nice.
You know what? My good friend Anita, she always say, if you see a mistake, you're standing too close to me. So can you just like step away, please?
Get out of my bubble.
One of the designers I tested for, I had and it was a huge shawl that I was testing, and in the middle of this thing, I realized that there was a stitch that had been repeated row by row by row. I was making the stitch incorrectly.
Oh no.
And I realized this and I get hold of the designer and I'm like, listen, this is what happened. This thing's not going to be done in time because this is now the end of it. The designer told me, carry on with the rest of the shawl the way you did that stitch and then just show it as is. Because if you're now going to go and do it right, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. But if you just carry on with the mistakes that you made, it's going to look like the pattern.
Yeah. Yay. That is so cool of that designer to say that,
It's
so
it's
cool.
usually the designers that are just so chill
That's
about
awesome.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Look at Stephen West.
Yep.
Don't stress, just say yes.
Yep. Exactly. I love that mantra. Oh, wait, let's quickly look at some comments. Janine says, oh, right, it's race day. Yeah, it's qualifying this afternoon at 4 o'clock South African time. Oh, I remember Bottas being on that yacht, says Janine. It's the bar. Is the bar even there to be a Ferrari fan? Janine laughs. If Mercedes could just wake up, I'd be super happy. So Janine is a Mercedes fan, greatly dislike Hamilton, but he's not a bad driver. Stroll, can't deal with him. I think we all feel like that. Tanya says, hello there. Try being a Ferrari and Manchester United fan.
Oh, shame.
Vima's crochet says, hi. Hello, Vima. I hope you're well. What are you busy crocheting? What are you busy with? Let us know. So yeah, if you're busy with something, let us know what you're working on currently. Crocheting or knitting, whatever that might be. We would love to know. If you're watching Ferrari, what is your favorite team, or who's your favorite driver? We had a big discussion about F1 just now on a knitting channel, a knitting and crochet channel, that is it.
Who is the best driver? Alex Albon. Who is the best driver?
It's
Alex
like,
Albon.
is that like a sarcastic thingy?
No, that is, in my opinion, genuine. He is
Really?
one of the best drivers on the grid. Yes.
Yeah, yes. Do you watch Drive to Survive on Netflix?
Yes, I do. But
Yeah,
with a
I mean,
heavy pinch of salt, though.
but I mean the previous
Heavy.
with the previous team of Albon, that what is that guy's name? He's also very
Gasly.
No. Who was the team principal of the previous team that Albon was driving for?
Oh, Otto.
But that
The
guy,
team principal of Alpine was Otto.
Oh. But the new boss, they didn't get along well, so Albon moved, right? Isn't it? Oh,
Albon. No. Albon was with the junior team of Red Bull. So they change their name every year. So do not ask me what year they were called.
I understand. Junior team makes sense.
But the junior team of Red Bull. So Gasly and Albon were both in that team. And as a scenario at that stage, Daniel Ricciardo had left Red Bull and they had placed Gasly in the Red Bull as a second driver. And it went horribly wrong because Gasly, he did not cope with the pressure. He did not cope with that car. And so they yanked him out and then they replaced him with Albon. And same scenario. It's pretty much what they're doing with Lawson now and so on. So yanked him out, and Albon pretty much just at the end of that said, well, team dynamic is more to him. And he went to Williams, and so far I know is from other interviews, he said that the Williams team dynamic is one of the best on the grid. And if you really are as concerned about your people, you'll much rather stay at Williams.
Yeah.
So
but his previous
that
team
had been
It's Alexander Albon, right?
Yes. Yeah, he what was his previous team?
Yeah, I'm quickly just Googling because you know, I hate it when they don't give me paragraphs, man. I want like bullet points. I'm a bullet point type of person. I don't do paragraphs. Summaries and paragraphs is just not the way for me.
This whole reading thing.
Hey?
This whole reading thing.
No, I'm like an Excel spreadsheet presentation with bullet points kind of girl. Like, don't give me a book. I love reading books, but when I'm talking about, you know, wait. Let me just see Formula One career 2019, 2020, 2022. Goodness gracious, I can't see. 2023, 2024. No man, is it then him? Who was I thinking about? He was part of Williamson's last year, 2024. Yes.
No?
Okay, no. So that was 2023. 2023, he was part of. No, I'm talking. I'm confusing somebody with somebody now. I thought it was Album.
No. But hands down, my opinion, of course, he is a magnificent driver. There is a save that he had done last year where he had come around the corner and he had lost the rear of the car. And looking on onboard camera, you see just how cool, calm, and collected he reacts. He lets go. Well, he releases the tension on the wheel. He grabs it and he has that car while he was losing it do a 180. And instead of the momentum which would have happened once that happened, he just went onto the accelerator and it was an insane save. It was remarkable. Um, Albon is hands down he's one of the best drivers on the grid. Look, they're all very good. They
I
are
think
all very good.
I'm somehow him and Ocon I always confuse. It's Esteban Ocon. He
Yeah,
was a
Esteban Ocon.
and that
Yeah,
team principal of Renault Alban, the new one, he's very, what's the word? Like, there's a lot of stories about him. He's like controversial. He's a very
who says
controversial.
that?
And the new
Oh,
Renault,
that's
I don't know. He's like also a very rich guy.
no Amani. Vettel. So
It's
you'll
he had
see.
so horrible to Ocon. Ugh.
Who's this? Is this a no? He's at Haas.
No,
Ocon
but
is
I'm
at
saying,
Haas.
yes, because he moved.
Yeah.
He moved.
Yes, he went from Alpine. But anyway, yes. So he's an exceptional driver.
Yeah.
I have to say, there's a lot of promise for the rookies. Really, really good. And one that I also am following quite closely is Hajar.
Yep.
Because he's doing very well. And I'm very happy for him because, I mean, it was him that had that horrible first race that
Um,
Lewis Hamilton's dad
it's
still had
all
to
of them.
comfort.
Yes. That
So
one,
he's
I
doing,
felt so sorry for him.
yeah, dude,
Sure.
I plucked a tear,
Oh,
okay? I, I plucked a tear,
yeah.
okay? Um, so I'm very excited to see the rookies and do well.
Hmm.
And yeah, so qualies this afternoon. We've got Monaco. I think Sol and I are probably, Sol, my husband, probably gonna try and figure out some sort of drinking game. just to make it interesting, like every time Hamilton shouts at his race engineer, stop.
That is so funny. I've never thought about the drinking game while watching F1. I think I must start really implementing something. I'm sure if we're going to Google drinking games while watching F1, we'll get something, some recommendations. Right?
I think in 2023, we had one where we would take a shot. We were drinking that Sonny Tanny se melktertjie goedertjies, man.
It is so nice. I love it.
It's so good. So we were taking shots of those every time Ferrari's engineers would say, "We are checking."
Oh, joy. Oh, joy. But it wasn't that the year where it was so horrible. I think it was that.
2023 was the best year. Okay, so 2023, no, wasn't 2023 the one that freaking Red Bull won everything? Yes,
Yeah.
2023 was like,
Horrible.
but at least Ferrari won Singapore. Singapore is my favorite track.
Mm.
Ferrari won Singapore, but the year before that, when Bonicio was still the team principal, oh, Harry Potter, there was a lot of mistakes, made, but there was a lot of podiums.
Yeah.
I mean, we were very we were doing well, and then now it's like watching a relative just going downhill because of alcoholism, and there's nothing you can do. Every time Tani shows up, hi, this time it's going to be different. And then you see, nee, daar Tannie weer begin syp, daar's 'n bottel Richelieu in die ou box.
You're giving Annelie, it's so funny. Stephanie says, hi Stephanie. She says, I made the Nightshift
Hi,
shawl.
Stephanie.
Loved the process.
Ooh.
And the shawl is one of my favorite pieces. It went so fast. Using worsted weight yarn, I can imagine. Finishing Stephen West Achievement Badge shawl now. Oh, that's nice. Janine says, working on my sword sweater. Send a photo on the group earlier. Body is halfway. Okay, I will have a look on the group. Tanya says, Oscar is the best up-and-coming driver. I agree with you. He is brilliant. Agreed. I really love his calmness. And I think all the F1 drivers needs to be like egotistical and like, but he is really humble. Well, that's what I perceive. Tonya says, I agree. Williams gives me all the feels. Yeah, it's so lekker to see the Williams getting back to, better days. My boy Carlos and Alex rock. Tonya says, I'm testing a toe-up sock with Flegel heel for pulls and polish. I've never done a Flegel heel. I've never done one. I need to do it somewhere. I need to be challenging myself. Then she says, I have no time for moaning, in brackets, Norris and Hamilton. Why does Norris also irritate me these days? My husband is like, when we start, he's like, oh my word, I just hope Norris didn't go and had a night out last night, drinking and partying before he starts qualifying. Because my husband thinks like he's got this idea that Norris is a party boy, and then he messes things up, and he's like, look at me, I'm the guy. My husband don't like him. And as for that one who is always strolling, don't get me started.
For those who like the more, look, I'm gonna warn you. If you look at this dude's YouTube videos, it is not for the faint-hearted, okay? This dude has a language vocabulary that would make a sailor blush, okay?
Who's that?
But if you are an F1 fan, go and have a look at Rocket Powered Mohawk. He's got a channel on YouTube. He's got a Patreon also, which I'm planning on joining. But have a look at Rocket Powered Mohawk. Like I say, I wouldn't put it too loudly around the kids. But it's so funny. Like, it is so funny. And he refers to Lance Stroll as the window licker. So, because someone should just put him in a room, put jam on the window, and just leave him.
Oh, it's bad. It's annoying. Janine says, I feel
Yeah.
the same way, Tanya. The moaning and blaming gets old and quick. Yeah, I also, when they are complaining and moaning, I'm like also frustrated. Like, really. No time for moaning, Norris and Hamilton. Yeah. Oh, joy. They are quite entertaining, I have to say.
Look, Carlos Sainz is the Henry Cavill of Formula One. Okay? I'm just going to say that because he is a smooth operator. I also want to say that if you haven't seen what his dad looks like, don't have a look at what his dad looks like because he's even smoother.
Oh, really? But I really like Carlos Sainz.
He's
He's
an awesome dude.
No, I really like him. I really like him a lot. You know what?
Shane,
Who I
before
don't
he,
like, or not like. That's a bit harsh. Like when my
yeah,
husband said that Russell looks like Prince Charming of Shrek, right? It ruined everything for me. I just can't, and you can't unsee it. Prince
Prince
Charming.
Charming from Shrek. That's
I'm like,
interesting
I'm like,
because the
no,
whole wait, the whole internet thing is that he looks like Toy Story Woody.
no, no,
Yep.
no. No, no, he doesn't. It's Prince Charming, and I'm from that moment on. I was like, I can't, like, this doesn't work for me. Me and Russell, I can never root for Russell.
Oh man, he's nice.
I don't know, man.
He does
No,
nothing and he's just there. So like he's not as yeah like Norris is like 1 week yeah Norris is winning and oh Norris DNF'd and then oh Norris wins. Russell's just always there. Like
yeah, no, it's true. He's very
he just
consistent,
he's got a podium.
yeah.
He's got a podium. He's number 4. He's
And
got a
he's like
podium.
Prince Charming. I cannot.
And then one day, luckily, if Lady Luck is on Merck's side and they bring out an upgrade that rivals the 2023 RB25, Russell's going to be the world champion because there's not a lot to catch up on.
But Antonelli is such a good teammate with Russell. I think Russell needs to look properly behind him because I think Antonelli is going to challenge him very soon. There will be a discussion about who will be the number 1 driver for the team very soon. I'm not saying maybe next year, but it's gonna come. Antonelli is a good driver.
Yeah. To me, it always makes sense to like decide your number 1 driver at summer break. Like whatever driver's got the highest points, you're going to be our number 1 driver. We are going to be getting you to get more points. But anyway, Shan, welcome to the Ferrari not the Ferrari. Welcome to the Formula One podcast.
You are taking the words from my mouth. And let me just say, shift is a very correct word here. Because, I mean, gear shift. And, it's proper for us to talk about F1 while we are talking about the shift as well. Because,
Fair enough.
It should actually be part of our discussion next week. Wait, are we not having an F1 next week? Yes, we do.
So that's actually what I want to ask you, because I think somewhere I had read that this is the last one, but
Yeah.
shouldn't next week be the last one, the cast off
Yeah.
party, I guess? Well,
Yeah.
the imaginary cast off, I guess. It's the
Yes.
cast
Yeah.
off of the month, but it's not the cast off of the project. Because this ain't
No.
gonna be done then.
Yeah. Well, if it's not done, it's not. There's no mandate
Mm-mm.
to say that you have to be done with your shift project, Little project for May. So,
I
but
think it's just a cast off in terms of it's the cast off official month,
for the
just to
May.
say that, okay, yeah, the make along, that the shift uh, your shift shows on Saturday is obviously now going to be replaced with your beanie, I think is next month.
Yeah, Nick, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited. I mean, you can even do your shift along during the colorwork beanie make along.
Mm,
You can do that because
absolutely.
it's a colorwork technique, so you can definitely
Mm.
do that. Let's quickly look at the comments. Tanya says Alonso is just hot in the car, out of the car. Love him. I love Tanya's comments. It's so funny. The hill is very easy, I believe she's saying. Carlos Senior is delicious, says Tanya. Tanya is like really loving Carlos's dad and also Alonso. And Tanya says, Weatherman Russell. Yeah, it also gives that vibes, right? That's also true.
He looks like
That
the
is
person that would eat dry toast every morning. I tell you.
that is so funny. Oh
But
no.
right?
It's so funny. Oh, joy.
Ladies,
Yeah.
I need to excuse myself. I have guests
Okie
that
dokie.
have summoned me already.
Oh, really? Are you getting
I
messages?
am,
Please come
yep.
back.
So I am, this is where I am right now.
Oh, wow.
Let's see where we are. I'll send some updates on the WhatsApp at some point. And yeah, let's see how our shifts go.
But you
My
know what?
side, just from an unraveled side. My side from an unraveled side, there are still some handspun on my website, but if you are interested in spinning, wanting to learn more about spinning, please holler me up on Instagram. My handle is Annelie Unraveled. Send me a DM. I would like to make a shortlist. Oh, that's me.
I think all your
Just a
details.
quick plug while I'm here.
Yeah, obviously you're a good collaborator. I think your details are in the description below. So if you're looking for Annelie,
Yeah.
go down below. My details is
Mhm.
also there. And I
Mhm.
didn't realize we're already more than an hour here. I'm so
Mm.
shocked because I haven't looked at the time. Sorry, Annelie.
It's okay.
We had so many things to talk about. F1 and yarn and shift. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone that has joined us. A special thank you to Annelie and Lishan. Annelie, enjoy your guest. You already said your things. You do want to say a quick bye?
Thanks to everyone who's watching, and good luck with quali.
Yes. Lishan.
Thanks so much. That was real fun. I got a couple of rows done and learned
Yeah.
some more about F1.
Thank you so much to everyone that joined us on YouTube Live. That was a lot of fun. And then good luck for qualification. Enjoy your knitting on your shift project. And we will have the last YouTube Live next week. I've not given a time yet. It will be on the group. I've not planned myself properly in my calendar. But happy knitting, everyone. Thank you for joining. Much love. Thank you, Lishan. Thank you, Annelie.
Bye.
Doodles.
Bye.